George Washington Bridge. Traffic moving pretty well this morning, but boy, it sure wasn't a few months back after those traffic jams engineered by aides to Christie to get back at one of his political opponents. One of the big questions right now, how much has it hampered his White House prospects?
And he has stepped up. He's talking about the New Jersey governor after those bombshell emails with calls from criminal investigations. ABC's Jim Avila is in Fort Lee, New Jersey right now, has the very latest for us. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Robin. It's 4 days that Fort Lee, New Jersey won't soon forget. That massive traffic jam that was apparently putting lives in danger and apparently for political reasons.
Looks like there might be a tie-up.
This town in the shadow of America's busiest bridge, the George Washington from New Jersey to Manhattan, paralyzed by the simple closing of 2 of 3 approach lanes, a few cones that backed up traffic through downtown Fort Lee day after day, in what now is clearly an act of political retribution by the high-ups who report directly to Governor Christie.
This puts at risk people in the community of Fort Lee.
In fact, in a letter from the director of Fort Lee Emergency Services obtained by ABC News, the mayor is advised of 4 separate incidents that week where first responders were delayed by the man-made traffic jam, including one in which a 91-year-old heart attack victim died after paramedics were delayed due to heavy traffic.
It's disturbing to find out that people that are supposed to be protecting public actually impaired public safety.
How did this happen? Emails from Governor Christie's friend and Deputy Chief of Staff implicate revenge politics. Just after the Democratic mayor of Fort Lee declined to support his Republican governor for re-election, this email was sent. Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee. The response? Got it.
I apparently got somebody mad at me. Those emails are pretty damning.
And it gets worse, with Christie aides rejoicing as Fort Lee suffers. Is it wrong that I am smiling? Christie, who has not been directly tied to the emails or texts, often boasts he gives as good as he gets in his Jersey style.
Damn, man, I'm governor. Could you just shut up for a second?
Then I have no interest in answering your question.
But today, his political enemies are thinking his office has taken that style too far. In a statement, Governor Christie said that he was misled by staff and that they will be held accountable. But so far, no firings. We should learn more about all this today at a hearing in the state capitol where the star witness is scheduled to be one of Governor Christie's key aides. George?
Okay, Jim, thanks very much. Let's bring in our political analyst, Matthew Dowd. And Matthew, let's start out. Put this on the political Richter scale. 1, it's a 2-day story. He shrugs it off. 10, he can't run for president. Where does it stand?
Well, it's definitely more than a 1 at this point. I think it's it's going to 4 or 5 right now. Whether it's a 10 or not, there's still some things that we need to know. What is there more shoes to drop, George? Is this a pattern? Was there an environment in the governor's office that allowed this stuff to happen? We don't know that yet. His worry right now is whether or not this is going to really hurt him, is whether or not his Jersey brashness, which people like and is an asset, moves to soprano bullying. And that's the line that if he crosses that, if there's a pattern, it's a huge problem.
And he's still got a lot of damage control ahead of him. He put out that statement, says he didn't know about it, was misled by his aides, but hasn't come before cameras yet and hasn't fired anyone.
Well, I think he needs to do something really quick today. First of all, he has to fire someone or someones. Obviously, the course of those emails show that somebody was involved and did a very wrong thing in the midst of it. So he's got to fire someone. It has to happen today. And 2, I think he needs to get in front of the cameras today and be totally transparent. I think one of the things he should do is release a bunch of emails from a bunch of different things. The worry I think his administration has is not only is there more here, but is there other stories that this kind of thing happened before? Not only was there a Fort Lee Bridge problem, but is there other problems that we don't know about?
Well, that's always the problem, and now you've got these calls for a criminal investigation. Everyone's going to get lawyered up right now, and the big worry, of course, for Christie would have to be if some kind of an email or testimony comes out and says that he did know about this or did direct it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these things is a mistake. 2 is troubling. 3 strikes you're out on these kind of deals. And one thing I've learned is normally when politician and bridges are mentioned in the same paragraph, it's never usually helpful.
Pretty safe bet. Okay, Matthew Dowd, thanks very much.
He has a point there.